Today we're going to be presenting the City of Diboll's financial statement analysis for the year 2017. My name is Kaylee Lankford.
I'm Morgan Duran.
And I'm Amanda Camp.
History of Diboll. Diboll was founded in 1894. It received its name from a timber salesman, J.C. Diboll. Development began after Thomas Temple built a lumber company in the town. The population is 5,247. We chose Diboll because it's a small town. It's not really like any of the other towns around SFA.
The city's financial reporting entity status is that of a primary government. It has a separately elected governing body and is physically independent of other state and local governments.
Diboll's major source of income comes from the services that they provide, such as water and sewer, security, recreational activities, and public works, and these are all considered exchange services. Their major non-exchange revenue comes from the grants and contributions that they receive.
The main sources of income for Diboll are government-funded activities like charges for services and business-type activities. Overall, the potential longevity is positive. The factors that would lead to it not being able to operate are if the public works and public safety expenses continue to rise with no revenues in return.
The main stakeholders for the city of Diboll include residents and employees. Residents have a major stake in the entity because they contribute most of the city's revenue through the payment of taxes. Stakeholders are divided on whether or not they are more concerned with profitability or the services that are provided. The residents of Diboll, one of the main stakeholders, are more concerned with the services that are provided by the city, while on the other hand, the employees of the city are more concerned with profitability. Stakeholders can own shares in our entity.
Thankfully, we were able to pass the budget. It was represented in the required supplementary information section of the CAFR, and while the budget is for both planning and controlling, as well as ensuring resources were used in accordance with the set purpose, we feel as though its primary purpose is to be able to plan and control, because you have to make sure there is enough revenue to cover the expenditures that you might incur throughout the year. The comparison schedule was presented in the required supplementary information on page 75.
The government-wide financial statements are reported using the accrual basis of accounting. The governmental fund financial statements are reported using the modified accrual basis of accounting, all of which are consistent with what we have learned in class.
The name of the primary net asset statement / balance sheet is called the statement of net position. The name of the primary activity statement / operating statement is called the statement of activities, and both are consistent with what we have learned in class. They are found on pages 18 through 21 in the CAFR.
The City of Diboll requires a yearly independent audit. It was found that the financial statements that were audited were found to be presented accurately. They did, however, ask them to restate the beginning fund balance and net position to reflect corrections on accounting errors in the 2016 financial statements.
The major funds reported for the governmental funds are the General Fund, Garbage Fund, and Debt Service Fund. The major enterprise funds were the Water and Sewer Fund, the Golf Course Fund. There is also a fiduciary fund, which is the endowment fund.
We found several key factors that distinguish this entity from a commercial entity. First, the city is a nonprofit entity, while most commercial entities are in business to make a large profit. The second is that the city must follow GASB and GAAP, while commercial entities only have to follow GAAP. The third is the governmental financial statements differ from commercial entities such that governments use statements of activities, statement of cash flows, and statement of net assets, while commercial entities usually use balance sheets, income statements, cash flow statements, and returned earnings statements. Governmental organizations are also required to submit a CAFR every single year, while commercial entities are not required, even though a lot of companies do report annual statements, which conforms to GAAP.
The city of Diboll does have the ability to levy taxes. There are many different sources of revenue that the city of Diboll has that represent taxpayer dollars. They have property tax revenue, sales and franchise tax revenue, license and permits revenue, fines and forfeitures, and charges for services, which all fall under the general fund. There are also water sales, sewer revenue, rental fees, membership fee revenue, and golf course revenue.
The governing body of the city of Diboll is the city council. The city council members in 2017 were Mayor John McClain, Louis Ivy, Don Hendrick, Veronica Hernandez, Daniel Lopez, Charles Moses, and Tom Farley. Their names were found in the council present under the 2017 agenda and minutes.
The city does report pure donations. There were voluntary contributions and donations made for a total amount of $50,500, which can be found on page 33 in the CAFR.
There are assets restricted for a specific purpose. There is a restricted cash in the amount of $108,009, specifically for the water and sewer fund, and it can be found on page 30.
The debt to assets ratio is 0.53. The current ratio is 2.51. The percent of change in net assets is negative 420,241. There was a positive interperiod equity. There was enough revenue to cover all expenditures for the year.
And this concludes our presentation. If you have any questions, please put them in the comments below.